time, for the good time.
That song sold 11 million copies back when country music was doing well enough to sell 1 million copies. You know, I think if I have to come back someday, I'd like to have Billy Ray Cyrus's body. I'd like to have Vince Gill's eyes. I'd like to have Garth Brooks's money and Ray Price's voice.
There you, this man is
I mean, he is the voice.
He is smooth, 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 always has been, always will be. This is the album called Sometimes a Rose, and I just love it. Please welcome the legendary Ray Price. I know you have to have a secret to that voice. You must drink honey and tea or do something.
I've been accused of drinking worse than that.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. Do you do anything to keep your voice so beautiful?
No, just really try to keep my mouth shut.
Do you? Yeah. That's probably smart in these days and times, don't you think?
It is around the house anyway.
Who was your hero when you were developing your style as a singer?
A lot of them. A lot of them. Jim, it was, of course, my dearest friend Hank, and then, of course, Ernest Tubbs, Roy Acuff, and I enjoyed all of them, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Didn't really ever copy anybody particularly?
No, well, when I first came here, I had the Drifting Cowboys when Hank left Nashville for a while, and I began to sound more and more like Hank because I was very much impressed with Hank.
Mm.
But, and then after he died, I was affected for about a year that way. And then I snapped to pull up, you know.
Well, your career has spanned 4 decades, and you've accomplished so much, won mounds and mounds of awards. If you have to look back and maybe say in one sentence what you feel you've contributed to country music history so far, would that be something that would be easy for you to do? Do you know what you've accomplished? It's a lot, isn't it?
Well, I tell you, Lori, it's kind of hard for me to say that. I really don't know. I do and I don't. And I'm afraid to say that I did something when I didn't.
Yeah.
But I think if I did anything, I let the country boy know that he didn't have to come through the back door anymore. And that he could sing anywhere he wanted to, any kind of song he wanted to any kind of audience he wanted to. And that he's as good as anybody.
Well, you know, Jimmy and I were talking backstage, and Jimmy mentioned the word maybe that you were sort of a rebel at one time because of just what you were talking about. Do you think you were?
Well, they got down on me pretty hard.
Yeah.
But I guess I was. I just couldn't believe that a country boy is supposed to be very ignorant and not very sophisticated, and that he sang through his nose and scratched his head. And I was a rebel when it come to that.
You showed him it was all right to wear a tuxedo as long as you still wore your boots.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know, I was called, everybody said I was wearing tuxedo, but I never wore a tuxedo except on an occasion when it demanded it. I always wore a dark Western suit, and they kind of looked tuxedo-y. But I always wore my boots.
You know, Ray's a dangerous man. You wouldn't believe some of the people he's had in his band.
Oh, I know.
And I don't know if he turned them into what they became or what, but
well, like
Roger Miller, Willie Nelson, Johnny Paycheck, and the list goes on and
Buddy
on.
Emmons.
Even Buddy Killen, Buddy Emmons, a lot of people like that. Do you claim responsibility for those men?
No.
I wouldn't either, Ray. I wouldn't claim responsibility
I'm
for
not
them.
responsible for that. I'll do.
That's a pretty wild group there, Ray.
This is a neat magazine. The Journal of Country Music has Garth on the cover this month, and inside a big article, big article about Ray Price. It says, the title of it is, Being Ray Price Means Never Having to Say You're Sorry. Now, what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm going to ask the guy that wrote it.
Well, I imagine it would be just knowing some of your history and not apologizing for the stance that you took on several different things.
Well, the only thing I'll apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings. I only think I hurt myself. So that way I don't have to apologize to too many.
When are you going to write your autobiography?
Well,
You must do this. You know, you have to do this sometime.
I'm thinking about it right now, very seriously, and but that's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm working about 200 days a year now, so I don't know when I'm going to get time.
Well, now tell me this. Is this something I could read without blushing?
Absolutely, and I didn't say what that man wrote in there either.
Oh, okay. Well, now, the gentleman wrote that the title of your autobiography would be, and I'm going to paraphrase here, one mess up after another, but he used some different words. Now, is that true?
Well,
You haven't messed up too much, it doesn't look like to me.
no, I don't think that's true. Well, I might have said it. He might have caught me in an off-guarded moment.
I mean, you're out. This new album I listened to tonight is wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
My friend Nora Wilson produced it. Sometimes a Rose. What do you think about going out there, and do you feel like you're in competition with all these young whippersnappers?
No. When I do a show, I look out in the audience and I think that's Ray Price fans out there that come to see me. And then I do my damnedest to make them be entertained, you know.
You're not doing any moves or gyrating on stage now, are you?
Not anymore, no.
If you are, I'd like to see a little bit of that. Well, here's
I'm
where
done,
Ray Price is going to be in concert in the upcoming days. The 15th through the 18th of July in Old Branson, Missouri. Then on in August, the 2nd in Omaha, then the 7th and 8th in Henderson, and the 16th in Tulsa. And I assume the 19th through the 20th, Mahnomen. Is that correct? The correct way to pronounce that town?
Minnesota.
I think it's
guess it
it's
is.
Mahnomen. And we have information too on the International Ray Price Fan Club. If you're interested in joining or would like more information, the address is P.O. Box 61, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17108.
You still cannot go into a club in America where they're playing country music without hearing Heartaches by the Numbers. And how many people have proposed marriage during For the Good Times or had anniversaries? I mean, your music has really left a legacy.
I kind of shrank back when somebody comes to me and says, I met my husband listening to your songs. And I don't know what she means.
It could be anything. Well, I imagine more things are going on like that with this album, because this is a very romantic album, good music, sometimes arose by Ray Price. So wonderful to see you again. Come back anytime.
Thank you.
Great to see you
My
always.
pleasure.
Mr. Ray Price. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more.